Hey friends, welcome back to Coal Country Homestead. It is week 5 of the Pantry Challenge, and I started the week off with my little shopping trip. I purchased some French vanilla coffee creamer, some whole milk, along with some heavy whipping cream because they were all out of half and half. So I'm whipping up my own. A little bit of whipped cream there, as well as chopped organic kale, mini cucumbers, cheddar cheese, mozzarella cheese, and a little bit of cream cheese. I'm thinking about making some homemade bagels. Lena made some a few weeks ago, and they were really good. So, but I will say that that heavy whipping cream put us slightly over our budget. We were budgeted for around $20, and I ended up spending about 24. So not awful, still way under budget for our weekly allotment. If we were giving $20 each week, we're still well under that. I think we're around $50 total at this point. I'd have to go back and double check, but anyway, we're into week 5, so let's get to it. All right, guys, so we elevated some convenience foods tonight. It is football Sunday in Pennsylvania with the Eagles potentially going to the Super Bowl. So I took some Pennsylvania pierogies and I did a little herb butter on those. We have some butterfly shrimp with homemade cocktail sauce, and we have a little Nashville hot seasoned shrimp as well. All this made in the air fryer, and some homemade tartar sauce as well. So just some picky foods for football Sunday. See you tomorrow. Hey guys, it is Monday. So today, well, since yesterday we had kind of like picky food, convenience foods, with it being football Sunday, today I am making what I would normally call my Sunday sauce, but I'm making it on a Monday. So it's essentially a sauce, a meat sauce that I'm going to make pretty much from scratch, and I'm going to bring you along with for the process. I do have in my pantry, I have tomato sauce canned, I have meat sauce canned, I have marinara sauce, but I want to show you how to kind of make this from scratch. And if you've watched my pantry tour, you know I'm not the biggest fan of canned ground beef. So this is going to be fresh and not canned. And now you'll have an idea of how I make my sauce. There's no exact recipe to this, especially because I'm making a pretty big batch of it where you probably would not be. It really is to taste, but I'm going to tell you all of the components that I'm putting into my sauce. And I make it a little bit different anytime I make it. I'm putting onion in. I am also putting quite a bit of garlic in. Onion powder, garlic powder, Italian seasoning, ground black pepper, crushed red pepper, and typically I put actual ground sausage out of the casing in my meat sauce as well. So it's like a beef and sausage combo, but I don't have any sausage defrosted. So I am putting some sweet Italian sausage seasoning in as well. And then I will adjust as this goes. But I also have out of my pantry that I want to use up, I have some roasted tomatoes, oven roasted tomatoes that are packed in olive oil. So I am going to add these in as another layer of flavor. So we're just going to build up the flavors in the sauce, and then it simmers for a few hours, and you serve it with whatever pasta you'd like. I might even attempt to make some bread depending on how the time goes. So we'll see. I only have a few minutes to get this started. We have our handy little food processor. I already peeled my garlic, so I'm just going to throw that in here. I am also going to throw in here these oven roasted marinated tomatoes. They're a little difficult to open. There we go. So in that goes. Let's see if I can really cut down the steps with this and put the onion in here too. So oil is warming up. Let's get this onion. So here we are in week 5 of the Pantry Challenge. I cannot believe that it is the end of January. Today is a nice warm, it's dreary outside, but it's such a warm day out. Like you can actually go outside without a coat on, and it is making me dream of summer. I am a summertime girl. I would take the heat any day over being cold. All right, let's see how much this can take of this. Need the lid. It's managing. Much better. All right, so we have our sun-dried tomatoes, our garlic, and our olive oil, all kind of blended, rough chopped. Looks pretty good. This is going to go in the pan right now to start heating up. We're going to saute this for a little bit. I'm breaking out the big guns for this one. Here we have our 18 quart. I love this stock pot. Has the measurements on the side, and this is pretty much like a go-to if I am making sauce. So we're going to get this in here now. The oil is heated. Sounds good. That smells so good already. Mix that around. You want to be careful not to burn this. Burnt garlic is not good. We're just lightly sauteing it, lightly sweating it. I'm going to start with about a tablespoon of each of my seasonings. We have onion powder, garlic powder, Italian seasoning, and then I am going to do sweet Italian sausage seasoning as well. This is what actually goes in the sausage. And it goes. Some crushed red pepper flakes. I'm not going to do quite that much of these, about half. And this is just my start. This is what I'm putting in to get it started. Once it comes together, I will taste it to see how we're doing. Let's mix that up, and then we're going to get our meat in here very shortly. This smells so good, but man, these onions are killing my eyes. This is going to go in. Going to use my trusty chopper. I always forget what this is called. I do have this. I will have this linked below for you. So if you're interested in this, I love this. I use it all the time. Just going to let that brown up a little bit and chop it some more. To our sauce, we added 2 cans of crushed tomatoes and 4 cans of diced tomatoes. And ultimately, I decided I was going to mix in 1 quart of my homemade end of season sauce to bring it all together. Girls, what do we have going on today?
Cookies.
Cookies? What kind of cookies?
Sugar cookies.
Lena, how about you?
Rolls.
What kind of rolls?
Dinner rolls.
Dinner rolls. What do you have there, Pep?
Coffee.
Coffee. It's a big coffee.
Hi guys, welcome back to Baking with Bella. Today I'm going to be making my famous sugar cookies.
Hey guys, Bella's mom here. I can't tell you all the amount of mama guilt that I'm feeling right now because as we were filming this, I did not realize that the light went off on Bella's microphone, which meant the battery died. So she recorded all of this, thanking you for watching her and for all of your recipe suggestions and telling you all that today she's going to be making her own personal recipe of sugar cookies. She was so excited to share it with all of you. She goes on to tell you that there's butter and flour and vanilla and sugar and powdered sugar and all of the ways to make the baking soda, everything that goes into it. And I had a dead microphone for all of this. So I've debated if I was going to even share this with all of you, but Bella worked so hard to make these cookies, and I feel like you all should see it. So I hope you bear with me as I do some voiceovers here for her and also put in some music. Bella learned some important lessons this day in that not every time you bake, even if it is your tried and true recipe, will it turn out perfectly. We ran into an issue with the powdered sugar. We didn't realize that the little bit of powdered sugar that she had in that sifter had some sugar ants find their way to it. And because of that, we ended up not having any other powdered sugar. So Bella learned an important lesson of improvising and adapting, which we'll get to in just a few moments. But with this recipe, she uses the paddle in the KitchenAid mixer. And as you see there, we have a big mixer and a baby mixer. So for all of our big batches, we have a mixer that can handle it. But even the KitchenAid isn't perfect, as you will see here just shortly after she does all of her mixing. And here we have her making her delicious icing. This was before we realized about the powdered sugar. We've all had these moments in the kitchen. So her icing is powdered sugar, vanilla, as well as a little bit of milk or cream. Here we had some milk that I had thrown in a mason jar, so I didn't have the big jug sitting in the fridge, and that's what she used. And this is just a simple basic icing glaze that you can make at the drop of a hat if you have these items in your pantry. It's super versatile. We've done just icing like this. We've added flavoring to it with like a jam or jelly, syrup, anything like that. And you can also add some like orange zest or lemon zest in this to kick it up a notch and add a special touch. That's often what I will put on my cinnamon buns, cinnamon sugar buns, and I drizzle some of this icing with some fresh orange zest. It's actually our Christmas morning tradition. That's what we have every Christmas morning, every year is fresh cinnamon buns with the homemade icing. And apparently the love of that has passed on to Bella. And here's where Bella realized that the KitchenAid didn't completely mix up all of her butter. So she decided she was going to do this the old-fashioned way and get in there with her hands and mix up all of her dough before she chills it. Anytime you're making a roll-out cookie like this, you do want to chill your dough after your first initial mix of it to make sure that you can roll it out without it turning into a big gloppy mess and sticking to everything. As Bella told you all before, she loves cookie cutters. She has quite a collection and she is always fond of adding to that collection. And I did surprise her on this day with a little package that I had tucked away of comfort cutters, I think they're called. So they're covered on one end for you to push down and with a plastic, not hurt your hand. And then the rest of it is a metal. So she was debating here which she would like to use. Ultimately, she went with her favorite cookie cutters, which are dinosaurs. She did a beautiful job of kneading and hand mixing her dough, and now it was time to get that in the fridge to chill so she could roll it out officially and do her cutouts. Now we do use these little cloth, little like we call them hats, the little cloth hat. They're elastic and they're perfect for covering your dough to let it rise if you're making bread or if you're putting some cookie dough in the fridge like this. So I can link these below if I can find a link for them, but we have different sizes and they work great for all kinds of applications. And this was when the realization kicked in that her icing was ruined by those sugar ants, and that we didn't have any more powdered sugar, being that we're still in the pantry challenge. And as I mentioned to everyone, we didn't do any kind of stock up before, so we went into the pantry challenge with what we had at that moment. I got to teach her one of my little up your sleeve tricks, and that you have the ability to make your own powdered sugar at home. It isn't the same exact consistency. In a pinch, it will work. And if you have a stronger than we have blender in this frame here, you may be able to make it the exact consistency, but we get a close second. So all you do is take your high-powered blender, you take some sugar. I believe I started here with a cup, and then I added to it as we went on, but you are going to process it on high. I went at least 5 rounds, so ours does 1 minute at a time, so at least 5 minutes on high. And you do want to make sure to cover this with a towel or some kind of drop cloth so that you're not having sugar powder fly everywhere, because it will. I've experienced that before too. Just adore the look on her face in this frame, because you could tell she was just over over the day. It was a Monday, and running out of her sugar and icing not going right. We've all been there. So I just had to share this little clip with all of you. And there's the new icing. Turned out great. She added some blue coloring to it. It was super cute. It was kind of galactic looking. And here Miss Bella is explaining to all of you how she allowed her dough to chill. I believe we left it in the fridge for about 45 minutes, and you see me buzzing around here in the background making our dinner. On this night, we had angel hair pasta with our homemade Sunday sauce, as they call it, also known as spaghetti meat sauce. But she here is pulling her dough out and getting ready to roll it out. She decided on the dinosaur cookie cutouts, and we have all kinds of shapes. One of my favorite reminding me of Barney. I'm probably aging myself with that, because I don't even know if she knew who Barney was before we talked about him on this night. Her tip for rolling out the cookie dough is that you want to flour your surface, or you could even use powdered sugar, but as we've already explained, it wasn't a great night for powdered sugar in our house. You can't forget either the rolls that Angelina was baking. She was using the new Mason bench scraper for the first time that we purchased, and she is separating her dough here, and there it is rising. These rolls were really good. I will do my best to link this recipe down below. We are just about to have audio back. I hope, if anything, this has encouraged you to adapt and overcome to any struggle or challenge that is sent your way. And there we have it, a little mozzarella with balsamic drizzle, a roll, and some angel hair with meat sauce. Looks good. So tell us, Pip, what did you do?
So I put the glaze on. It was like crystallized, but it's weird.
Yeah.
And so I put on purple sprinkles because blue and purple are my favorite colors.
They look cosmic.
They're very bright in person, but on the video they're darker.
They're super cute. I think they're just great. So, you want to say goodbye to everyone? It's late, huh? Yeah. Thanks for watching, everyone. I think she did a great job. So, real life. Dinner was absolutely delicious, of course. We have 5 quarts of meat sauce left to go in the freezer for future meals. And this is the reality of cooking real food for a big family. We have lots of dishes to be washed, dishes to be unloaded, floor to be cleaned, and things to be put away. And Miss Bella here still has some cookies that she is going to frost yet. So this is what it looks like when you make real food. A lot to clean up, but always so worth it. So I'll see you tomorrow, guys. Have a great one. Hi guys, today is Tuesday and it is a little after 5 o'clock. I was on the road today for work for most of the day, so we're starting dinner now. And if you have a family, most likely you've probably done this. Hey kids, what do y'all want for dinner tonight? And then you'll get 50 different answers, or I don't know, or blah, blah, blah. So that's how it is here today. And I'm going to make pizza. So I'm making what I want. We're making easy homemade pizza dough from Joy Food Sunshine. I'll make sure to link this below. This is the first time I'm trying this recipe, but supposedly it is the best homemade pizza in 30 minutes from start to finish with only 5 ingredients for the dough. So I will let you know what my thoughts are. And I'm using my nice, beautiful bowl that we just got at Roar Seeds from Mason Cash. So I am excited to test this guy out and make dough. And I am tripling the recipe for this. So let's get to it. The recipe, as I said, I'm tripling it. So the recipe is calling for 3 tablespoons of sugar. I think that pizza is a great idea for tonight because we have all of that mozzarella that I took out of the freezer last night. So it's a perfect way to have some good, fresh, delicious pizza. Also calls for 3 tablespoons of yeast. We keep our yeast, I buy it in bulk, and we keep this in our fridge in a sealed lock and lock style container. I love these kind of containers. And then it calls for 3 cups of warm water, and it puts in definition that it should be around 105 degrees Fahrenheit. We're going to put that in. And we're supposed to stir to combine. I can always tell when someone else put away dishes besides me because I can't find my stuff. So we're just going to use a fork. Now the goal here is to activate and let the yeast bloom. You will see me referencing my recipe multiple times. Anytime I am making something from a recipe, I read it over and over to make sure that I'm not missing something. Okay, so 5 minutes, and then we're going to stir in our olive oil. All right, so our yeast has had time to bloom. It has formed a froth and it has bubbles on it. So we are now going to move on. Okay, so next step is to put in our olive oil, and we are using 3 tablespoons. We're going to use our little Danish dough whisk here. This is really frothed. Okay, and then we need to add our salt and our flour. The recipe calls for 6 cups of flour, and this is a cup and a half. I'm going to do 4 of these. Okay. And then it also calls for a tablespoon or 3 teaspoons of salt. And I am using garlic salt. So you can never give me a recipe. I will never follow it to a T. I just can't do that. So we are going to mix this. And the recipe calls or says that you start with the 6 cups of flour, but you may need to add up to a cup and a half additional. You want to form a dough ball. I'm going to bring you a little closer to see what's happening. This looks very gloopy to me. So I am going to guess that we need some more flour, but I don't want to put a whole cup and a half in to start. 1/4 of a cup of flour. And mix that and see what it looks like. I am really amazed with how much easier a Danish dough whisk makes mixing dough. I've told you all before, I'm not really the baker. My daughters definitely prefer baking more than I do. And they're pretty good at it. For a while, Angelina was really into making homemade sourdough. Sourdough bread, sourdough discard pancakes. I believe she made sourdough discard cookies. So for a while, we did the sourdough thing. And she just told me today that she's thinking about starting up her sourdough again. So you may see possibly see some sourdough videos. That's still really sticky. So we're going to add a little bit more. So we have added the full 7.5 cups of flour. And I think that this this needed that. Honestly, it took a minute to readjust, double check my recipe, and try to degook my hands a bit here because that was really sticky. So we are just getting this a little bit more together, and then we are going to transfer this, flour and all, and finish getting this together. So this is going to be a pick your own adventure pizza night. I did a triple batch here. I have 2 pizza stones in the oven that are going to warm, and then we will do a batch of 2, and each person will get to create their pizza of choice. And I need a little bit more flour. So per Angelina, I need to let this rise for a little bit, and I did. And now we are going to divide it. We're going to divide it into 6. We're not going to have real big pizzas. We're going to have more like an individual. All right, so recipe says that you are to roll it out to desired shape and then put it on parchment and transfer it to the hot pizza stone. And the oven is set at 500 degrees per said recipe. I'm assuming that you all want to see what we are topping our pizzas with, so I will be sure to have that at the end of this. There will be no throwing the dough in the air here because it'll be on the ceiling. We have 2 in the works. Angelina has sauce, banana peppers, olives, mozzarella, Parmesan, and Belle, what are you having on yours?
Mozzarella, cheddar cheese, Parmesan, and pepperoni.
Ooh, cheesy. Hunter boy, that piece is not for you. Okay, don't mind the absolute disaster because obviously we have a full-on pizza place going on in here. But we have 2 ready to go. We have Miss Bella's and Miss Lena's. We have mine ready. We have 2 others in the oven. So let's see. Can we hear? Sounds like a good New York pizza crunch. We'll see. That was a little rough trying to do that holding the mic. So Bella, do you want to be a taste test and tell us how it is? Come on over. Or you can come over. That's okay. I'll give it to you if you don't want to come over. Lena, you want me to cut yours?
Sure.
How is it?
Really good.
Say it louder so they can all hear you.
Really good.
Really good? Lena, you want yours? No?
It's good.
It's good? All right. We have another one just out with just mozzarella, parm, and cheese. It's looking like a real pizza place here. It has pepperoni, mozzarella, and red onion on it. And Zachary is about to make his next. There's mine. Sauce, the red pepper spread, sweet peppers, onions, olives, a little bit of fresh garlic, the mozzarella, and it looks really good. And so far, we have 4 of the 6 family members eating, and they've all said that this is really good. So I'm going to give this a 5 out of 5 for the dough. I did have to add a little bit more flour, but every environment's different. So this looks good. I'm about to go have dinner.
Okay guys, so one thing that we noticed with my pizza was that since I made the pizza, probably like an hour and a half ago or something, and I waited to put it in the oven until now. And we had it on the warm oven, but as you can see, my dough rose a good amount. I have a nice little bubble here, and my crust has all risen around. So, just something to keep in mind if you're using this recipe for your own pizza.
Last one's going in. Now we did find that we have 2 kinds of pizza pans. We have our Lodge cast iron one, and we have our Pampered Chef stoneware. So we found that the crust does get much darker on the bottom on the cast iron than it does on the stoneware. So we're going to put this in. Yours is really large, so this is kind of a precarious thing here. All right. Then it's gonna end up on the floor. Good. And it goes in for 12 minutes, most likely, but I started at 10.
Isn't that already?
Last one coming out. Might be, ooh, look at that. Might be the best one yet. CoalCountryHomestead Pizzeria. This looks so good. And what all did you put on yours, Zachary?
Banana peppers, hot cherry pepper poppers, a whole jar of hot cherry pepper poppers I cut up and put on. I put the
red onion.
I put fresh mozzarella cheese and a little
fresh
bit
garlic.
Yep, and then I put a little bit of Parmesan cheese, and then I decided to cut up some of the fresh Lore's garlic that
and
we
there's
got.
Pepperoni.
Yep, there's pepperoni on half of it. So.
And my banana peppers.
Yes.
Because we use mine and not the store-bought ones.
Yes.
Yeah. Looks good. You're gonna have to do a taste test.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
there you have it. A pizza pie. Coal Country Homestead. The fresh Italiana.
We just want to know how it tastes.
Well, it's too hot to taste right now.
No, all right. Well, we'll talk.
All right,
Well,
so
there's a doggy next to you that will gladly eat it for you.
you trying to eat my pizza? You trying to eat my pizza? No, you can't have it. All right, so this side was the pepperoni. This side was the regular. So I think I'm gonna try this piece here.
Oh, that looks good. Let's see.
Got a cherry pepper on the front, onion, lots of cheese.
There's nice bubbles in the crust even.
Mm-hmm.
Looks good.
All right, ready? Mm. That's good.
What do you say? 1 to 10?
That's a 10 for homemade pizza. The dough is perfect. I mean, couldn't have gotten any better. The crust is just perfectly crispy on the bottom.
Let me see the bottom. Oh, yours turned out perfect.
Yeah,
Are those hot peppers getting you?
yeah, they're a little bit hot, but yeah, it's delicious. Perfect. Couldn't get any better.
Well, the verdict's in, guys. It was a success. So we went from no one knowing what they wanted for dinner and it being 5 o'clock already to a whole pizzeria night. So thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow, guys.
See you on the next one, guys.
Hey friends, today is Wednesday and I am working from home today, so I have the ability to get something started this morning and have it cook low and slow all day long. So today we're making pot roast. And I've made this recipe so many different ways over the years. So there's no true set recipe for this. This is an inspirational meal. So we have some beef here. We have just out of the freezer defrosted. This is a piece of chuck roast. We have some red wine, Cabernet to be specific, some garlic, some little potatoes, turnips, some black pepper, some carrot, Worcestershire sauce. We have some of our caramelized onions. Typically when I make this, I will put in like a onion packet seasoning from the store, or I will use some French onion. I don't want to use up the last 2 jars we have downstairs of French onion, so I'm going to put these in their place. We also have some purple carrot beef broth that we've made. This was made with our own purple carrots, but the thing to be cautioned with this is that purple carrots turn everything purple. I accidentally made purple gravy in the past using them. So I'm not so concerned with the coloring for this dish because we're already putting in red wine. So we're going to have this come together. I'm going to start by searing my beef, season it with some salt and pepper, sear it, and then we're going to add the rest of the ingredients in and throw it in the oven and let it cook all day long and do its thing. This is a low work meal. There's not a lot of work that goes into this beyond getting everything into the pot, and then it makes itself. So being that I'm home today, I have the ability to kind of keep an eye on the stove, not let that unattended, but still get my work done. So let's get this started. So as per usual, I am using some of our refrigerated stored bacon grease to get this started. And I will say that this is a great time to use up any of those little random ingredients that you have left in your fridge. You have like a spoonful of jelly left or jam. It's a great way to add some sweetness. If you have some, leftover peppers, throw them in. I am all about building up layers of flavor. Okay, so I have this seasoned liberally with salt and pepper, and for size reference, this is about 3 pounds. Hear that nice sizzle? Gonna put a little salt on this side. Some more pepper. Don't be shy. And while that sears, I'm going to start cleaning up the vegetables. Okay, so we've seared this for quite a bit. Want to make sure it gets a nice sear. And that's exactly what it's a big piece of meat. That's exactly what we want to see there. I'm just going to set that to the side, and I am going to deglaze our pan. Right in it goes. I would say that's about a cup. I brought the pot over here, our Dutch oven, so I can show you exactly what we're going to do without having all of the steam. So we deglazed our Dutch oven with some wine. I am just going to put in there some Worcestershire, no measurements to that. You measure it with your heart. Also going to put in some potatoes on the bottom. Now, I keep ours just in halves. They really cook down. And I'm going to put some of our carrots in here as well. Basically, I'm doing about half of each of the vegetable on the bottom and then on the top. Just do a quick rough chop to the onion. We're going to put that in. And part of our already caramelized onion is also going to go in here. We all kind of still have like some lingering cold symptoms going on, and Zachary finally really seems to have gotten it. He normally doesn't get sick. I think everyone's dealing with that this year. Never-ending sickness. We're all ready for summer. Okay, so we have half there. We're going to put our piece of meat on now, and it looks so good with that sear. So we're going to put that right in. Then we are going to top with the remainder of our vegetables. Oh, can't forget the garlic. Sitting right here in front of me. Gonna pretty much leave these relatively whole. They're going to just cook down themselves in here. I will say this little bit of garlic that I'm putting in here is kind of on the verge of just being about past its prime. So I'm happy that we are using this today. I wanted to ask all of you, recently on one of my videos, I received a comment from someone stating that they would love if we did a get to know us video. And I'm completely open to doing such a thing. I think we're all just kind of like naturally curious if there's someone that we watch, getting to know more about them. But I'm struggling with what to say. I'm curious if you have any specific questions, if there's something that you would like to know about us, if you want to know more about like our history, our family story, how Zachary and I met, like how we became a family, or if you want to know more about like what has driven us to become homesteaders or live this kind of life. I'm curious what you want to know. We're pretty much open books. We give a lot of information about ourselves. This is really, our thing, so I won't be sharing a lot about my children. I think that they deserve privacy, and I will only ever include them on here as much as they want. Same thing goes for my mother and grandmother. They are their own people. But as far as Zachary and I go, we're pretty much open book. So if that's something that you would be interested in seeing, let me know. And sorry, these onions are getting to me. Whew. Let me know what you would like to know, and if you have specific questions, and I will do my best to make that happen. Oh, these onions. Well, those onions are wicked. Well, I was just having about an absolute meltdown from those onions. I decided I wanted to dig out some. This is our peach preserve. This was tucked in the back of the fridge. It hasn't been opened, but in the past I have tossed some of this in with our roast, and it just gives it such a good taste. So I am going to put this in. Little touch of sweetness. Now this peach preserve was one of the items I canned that came from seconds from a farm stand. So they were not the prettiest peaches. They were starting to have a little bit of soft spots in some of them, and I took it right away and made peach preserve. So this is our carrot beef broth that I just put in. And I may need to go grab a second one because I want to have the liquid, just about, not all the way up that it overflows, but I want to have it, just about to like 2 inches below the top. So I'm going to go grab another one of those, and I'm going to get this in the oven at 300 degrees, and we're going to let it cook all day long, and I'll bring you back to show you the reveal. I want you all to see this. If your pot roast don't look like this, it ain't right, okay? Look, just with the fork. That is the meat, literally, just coming apart. There is no tough meat in this pot whatsoever. No dry meat, nothing. This is just ready to go. We have your carrots. We have potatoes. Turnips are in here as well. The garlic pretty much just disintegrates and becomes one with the broth. And Angelina has also made a focaccia. So I will have to show you that when that comes out of the oven as well. But this smells so good. Literally before you walk in the front door, you can smell this. So here's the raw focaccia dough. She still has to put her little, what are they called, Lena? The little dimples. She has to put the little dimples and top it, and then in the oven it goes. All right, Lena, tell us what your flavor profile is going to be.
All right. So today we're just doing a half batch, keeping it low key. We have the dough, which we can link that, and then we have lemon oil. And now, what we do is we get the excess oil over here, and you dimple it like you're playing the piano. And go until you press the bottom of the pan. Like you want to do this decently hard. And then wash your hands. And I'm doing like a lemon allium type of flavor profile. So first, we're going to start with hot black lava gourmet sea salt from Hawaii. Thanks, Grandpa. And you don't want to go shy on salt. Like, you want to decently salt this up. That's a decent amount. And next, we're going to go in with some chunky onion salt.
This is your mama's blend.
Yeah. And next, I'm going to go in with some dried chives straight from the garden. And then some lemon peel.
Let me see that again. I'm sorry. Some lemon peel. So this one we purchased at the farm show. We showed this in our haul.
And then, once we did all that, I'm going to go in with some more lemon oil.
We love this.
Just a little drizzle. Just so everything sticks on there and it gets a nice crisping.
Ooh, looks good.
And then, if you want, you can dimple it once more, but you're going to get spices all on your hands. But this just helps to evenly distribute everything.
Lena, what would you say your favorite bread is that you make? This particular profile or just focaccia in general?
Just focaccia. It's easy. And then, once this is all done, we are going to pop it in the oven for 450 for 20 to 30 minutes.
So Mom has some clean hands here, so let's pop it in the oven. Ooh, it's hot in there. All right, so Lena does not even want me to record this, but in real life, in reality, sometimes you make things and they don't come out how you'd like. Even though she has made focaccia probably 1,000 times at this point, I specifically asked her to make a half batch this time as opposed to her whole batch. So Mom's gonna take the loss on this one. This is my fault. But
And she said it had to take overnight, right?
yes, she also normally lets her dough rise overnight, but I had asked her to make a quick focaccia. So this has turned out more like a flatbread, and we are still gonna have this with our pot roast, and it's gonna be delicious still. So we'll see you tomorrow, guys. Tell me, Miss Bella, what are we having for dinner tonight?
A salad.
A salad. So it's free for all night?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever you can scrounge up in the fridge.
So we have tomatoes from bruschetta, that's what it's called.
From our canned bruschetta, yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have banana peppers.
That we canned. Mm-hmm.
And then we have kale.
Kale, yeah.
Cucumbers
Mhm.
and red onions.
And red onions. So that looks like a pretty good salad. And what kind of dressing are you putting on?
Caesar.
Caesar, of course. All right, well, that's really it, you guys, for this Thursday night. It was a long day on the road for work and a long day for the girls for school. So we're just keeping it easy, and we'll see you tomorrow. So Friday night we kept it really easy and just had leftovers. I honestly didn't even get any pictures, but we enjoyed the pot roast again. And then we relaxed because it's been a long week and it was getting really cold. Hey guys, it is Saturday night. It is the final night of this week's pantry meals, and I am all red because Zachary and I have been out in the cold all day today. We bought some trees, so that'll have to be another video to share with you. But the girls have a tradition. Angelina's best friend is staying over tonight, and they like to do soups and movie on cold sleepovers. So we are doing some of our, let me bring you down here, chicken chili, salsa. Gonna keep it real simple and easy. But I just wanted to pop on here real quick before I throw this in the pot and tell you what February is gonna look like for us with the Pantry Challenge. I am going to continue on with pantry meals. I will tell you, February brings a lot of special occasions for us, 2 birthdays in the household. So I will not be doing pantry meals, most likely for those. We'll see. It's up to the birthday people and Super Bowl. So I will be using some pantry items for Super Bowl, but the Eagles are in this year, which is a Pennsylvania team. So we got to do a big Super Bowl dinner. I'll be sure to show everyone what meals we do for all of these events, but they may not be pantry meals. I will be continuing on with pantry challenges, but I am also going to simultaneously now start restocking our pantry. I am going to keep everything essentially out of the pantry until the end of the challenge, and I will bring you all back to do a full like restock and renewed pantry tour. I have changed things quite a bit in here just to give you a little preview there. So there's a lot of things that I want to share and show you all, but let's get through the pantry challenge first. So that way I can do a full refresh with all of you and give you that updated tour. So that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to do pantry meals. We're going to do some restocks. I am a bargain shopper, so I'm going to try and share with you all of my tips and tricks of how to restock the pantry. And then I am absolutely 110% going to give you a full video of what I've learned during our pantry challenge, things that I've noticed that I was doing already, things that I've noticed like some holes in our pantry, and just all of my thoughts and how we're going to operate going forward. So thanks for watching. I'm going to go get this all in a pot. I'll show you that quick, and then that's it for this week. So we'll see you for week 6. Oh, that's crazy. Time's just flying by. But it is super cold in Pennsylvania today. As you see, my face and nose are all red. My toes feel frozen even though I was bundled up. But it's Pennsylvania weather. So thanks for watching, guys, and let's get this in a pot. All right, in goes the chicken chili. That's quart 1. It's amazing to me always. I'm still, I don't know, enthralled, surprised, delighted that taking something out of a jar that I canned, last year, and it still looks like I just made it yesterday. That it will always blow my mind, and I hope that I never grow tired of seeing that. So 1 quart in. We're going to do at least 1 more and the salsa. All right. Salsa verde is in there. Chicken chili. Let's get this mixed up. Sorry to be moving you around so much here. I'm trying to do this one-handed. Instant dinner, essentially. I do think I might add 1 more quart in here. And then right before I serve this, I finish this off with a little dairy of some sort, milk, cream, whatever's on hand. And I typically will serve this like a loaded chili style with sour cream, cheese, and diced onions on the top. So I have to check how we are doing on sour cream, but that's most likely how it will be served tonight. So again, guys, I thank you all so much for watching. I hope that you enjoy our pantry meals. I hope they give you some kind of inspiration for your own pantry. And please like and subscribe to continue joining us on our journey to live a more sustainable life. I'll see you next week.